Here's a good move in a relationship.
Oh, here we go.
Have you ever had to do the sheepish tail between your legs apology for a wild overreaction to something?
That's my life,
That's
dude.
your life? Yes, I had an inkling of an idea.
Look, to be honest, sometimes I just don't apologize because sometimes I don't think I was overreacting. Excuse me.
Yes, of course.
There have been definite times in relationships where I have flown off the handle. And the worst part is, right, so most of the time when I do fly off the handle in this way, it's usually because I have lady hormones raging, right?
Right.
But I also never want to go, my lady hormones were raging when you apologize to someone, even though chemically that is a very fucking valid excuse.
Absolutely.
Because then every time you're pissed off about something that's real, they'll be like, have you got your period? And just be like, how dare you? But I'm trying to think of a specific example, but I'm pretty sure that I had like a really bad overreaction to, it would have been something dumb like.
Mine always come from, I'll be fecked off at something in the world, at work or it's hot or something, and then that energy will follow me into like something. Like I'll defend a position like an actor, like it's somewhat like your girlfriend says like, oh, Ryan Gosling's not all that, and then you're in that mood and you're like, how dare he's the he's the
he
best.
Is one of the greatest actors of our generation.
And your conscious logic brain is going, what's going on here? You've never had this position before in your life, but you're already on the charade.
And you can see yourself like you float out of your body and you are watching yourself say the dumbest thing that you've ever said in your life, but in a way that it's so passionate that you swear to God that this is a matter of life or death.
And then 2 hours later in the shower going, I don't believe it. Why do I Ryan God like I chose him that's the hill I did.
I died on Ryan Gosling. No.
And then you got to go back. I think the person that you're apologizing to in that position, their reaction and their response is also very important. If you have someone come to you and with their tail between their legs, sheepishly apologizing, you've got to, I don't know, I think it's upon you as well to be like, it's okay. You got a bit silly there, but it's okay, and not make it like a, you got,
No, you can't.
You gotta,
if someone's coming to you with an
recognize
apology, take that apology. I have also been in the position of receiving that apology, and I usually gently rib them, and it turns out to be a funny, I did that. That was pretty dumb. I'm like, it was pretty dumb, but it was kind of funny.
You can sail through those waters quite unscathed together. So good. I'm sure everyone at home has had their own moments.
Please write in and tell us of moments where you've completely overreacted about something silly in your relationship and you've had to come back and tell us how you apologized and if it worked. I want to know all the details of those little stories.
I want to know the dumbest hill you've died on in an argument.
The dumbest hill you've died on and whether you were able to fix it.
You've had to crawl back. Hello, everyone. I'm Tom Harris and Elizabeth Best sits across from me in our studio here. Welcome to the show.
Boyfriends Past. We're the podcast that gets guests on to talk about their relationships of times gone by, whether they be good, bad, happy, sad. And look, we don't always stick to just Ghosts of Boyfriends Past. You know this if you're a regular listener. We do Ghosts of Girlfriends Past as well.
That's right.
Ghosts of, I don't know, like we're open, non-binary, any kind of Ghosts of Large Eggplants Past.
If we listed them all, the title would have been too long.
It would have been too long. It's just not good for SEO, you guys. It's just not good.
But it's not all about us being sticky beaks and wanting to sort of point and laugh at other people's pain and misery.
No, we laugh with other people's pain and misery.
Yes, that's right. And the goal here is to, first of all, hear someone else and their story, hear their position, hear their history, and we try and learn from it. Ultimately.
We do. But also, like, it's hard to learn from stuff sometimes, so sometimes you need to make the same mistakes a few times.
But don't worry, 80% of the time it's a faff around and we have fun and it's chaotic shambles.
We are not professionals. Please don't think we are. That's part of our charm. So today we have a returning guest, and she is here to tell us the time of a story that she did a thing that I think was particularly amazing, hilarious, and courageous. We have Miss Marnie Clark, singer, songwriter, writer, creative extraordinaire. Marnie,
Hello,
welcome
Marnie.
back.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello. Good to be here.
Look, I know that we've had you on before to talk about a story that you're very vulnerable about, but I have been dying to ask you on to talk about this particular story because not only was it something that I thought was fucking ingenious at the time, but we've even had a listener write in and ask us about this particular thing because I saw a friend on Facebook post about this thing that Marnie did, and I was like, oh my God, that's my friend.
Ah, amazing.
Wow.
So look, I'll tell the start of this story because
Please
I
do.
want to tell it from my point of view of how I thought it was awesome. So, Marnie and I used to work together. And she came into work one day, and I'm pretty sure you were just like, Liz, I've done this thing. And I was like, oh God, what did you do? And you're like, oh, it's probably stupid. It's probably not going to go anywhere. But, and then she showed me this flyer, and it had little tear-offs on it, and it had a photo of Marnie on it, just looking like quizzically, like, where? What
Yes.
is happening? And it had big lost. What was it? My Sense of Romance?
I'll be doing this from memory. Lost, the romance in my life.
Yes.
Do you mind? Should I do the whole thing?
Yeah, go for it.
Last seen some time ago in the dating wasteland that is Brisbane. Will respond to wine and cheese. Can be enticed with good conversation. What did it say? Ideally, you will be male, mid-20s and over, amusing and interesting. I'm
House trained responds to.
that. I'm female, late 20s. Oh, I don't know, funny and optimistic or something, I said. And then, I created an email address and I put that on the tabs at the bottom.
So
I
it's
think
a-
that was the whole
Little
thing.
tear-offs, and it was a lost
It's a
the
looking
romance in my life.
the looking for love advertisement in the oft underused, I would say, lost dog take a tab poster.
Very amusing,
Very
very
good.
clever.
Thank you.
And I saw them popping up like on telephone poles all around Brisbane, and was like, "This is amazing." And
Aw, thank
because
you.
like apps weren't really a thing, like they were sort of in their very fledged. It was more
gee.
like RSVP, like
Match.com,
the Match.com
et
sites that
cetera,
still
yes.
had a big stigma to them, right?
Yes.
So I kind of was like, this is so smart. And how has someone not done this before? And then after a little while, Marnie's like, oh, yeah, I've had a few things happen. And then next thing I know, she's on Sunrise.
I was.
Talking about her poster because it went a little bit viral.
A little bit, yeah.
So-
that was interesting.
I want to know, what was it that led you, like, how did you come up with this idea and what prompted you to have the need for that?
All right.
And I'm wondering if you can recall, because Sunrise would have opened your segment with a pun or a terrible, like some sort of joke. And I'm wondering if you can remember what that terrible
Ooh,
thing
good
was.
question. You
I'm
can
going to
text me
try and
there.
find the video.
No, I think they took it down. I tried to
What?
find it.
You've been
Yeah,
censored.
it was up there for a while because this happened 8 years ago. Like it
Ah,
was
yeah.
I first it was end of 2012, 8 years ago, and yeah. So I had been single for 2 years. My last ex, we were together for 6 months, and I'd been single, and I'd done a bit of online dating, like that's fine, but I don't know, I was bored with it, and I won't belabor the point, but I wasn't super happy in myself, and I was just like, I just want to try something and see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted like this. It was meant to be funny. The post, I like making people laugh, and it was meant to be funny, but it was also genuine. I was like, I want to meet someone. I'm going to do something.
You just
a bit
make
unusual.
shit happen.
Well,
like I know
mean,
that you
thank
say that you're, well, I'm not that you say, but I know that you tend towards an anxious personality. But for somebody
Definitely.
who tends towards anxiety, you do an awful lot of
Thank
fucking
you.
go-getting.
Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. I would say the thing about you.
Shut
the same
up.
thing about you.
Let's
Look,
move
you're
on.
out there. No, but like seriously. Anyway, I thank you. That's really kind. What actually prompted it was I was on a girls' weekend with two of my besties in Sydney, and it's coming up to summer. It was like October, and I was like, I want to go on a lot of dates this summer. I just want to have fun. I want to
The
meet
summer of dates.
love.
yeah, summer of love. And my friend, love it a bit, and she deserves the credit credit for the actual specific idea. And I haven't spoken to her about it for a while. I don't know if she remembers the conversation, but I remember it. We were eating burgers in Surrey Hills and I was looking at, I'm like, I should just like get a sandwich board or something. I'm like, but they're pretty heavy. And then she's like, you should put up like posters. And I'm like, well, yeah, I should put up posters. I'm going to put up posters. And so then I had my little notebook and I've still got it with like the little first sort of sketchy details of, with stick figure Marnie. And I came back and I was like, I think I might actually do this.
Yeah.
So I printed some. I think I started with 10 or something. And the first one, because I was living in Brisbane at the time, and the first one I stuck up was in Annalee, and I took a photo of it on Ipswich Road. I don't know why I stuck it up there, but anyway.
That's a high traffic area.
Yeah.
Like not as much foot traffic as I would have expected.
I don't know what I was doing there.
Lots of cars go past there.
That's an interesting thought.
I genuinely don't know what I was doing there, but yeah, that was the first one. And I thought I can actually do this, and I might actually meet some cool people, like some interesting people.
I would hope that because it's such a humorous way of doing it, that the type of people that you would meet could potentially be humorous.
That's what I was hoping for.
Off the top, I was going to comment. I loved just the fun ideas,
so
just the
much.
fun things in life. Don't give me boring. How's work going? Give me the fucking flyer with the thing that I can rip off.
Thank you so much.
Do the fun, great thing, because you'll get idiots like me up the wazoo pulling off tabs and going, hi.
I did
Get idiots.
Yes.
so many idiots.
I'm aware. You don't. I've spent enough time on the internet to know that you'll find some fucking idiots. In real life, they're going to come.
It was entertaining,
So-
I'll tell you that, checking that inbox.
Ipswich Road. You put it there. You take a photo. Do you post the photo on social media and go, look at what I did, guys? Or do you just still keep it to yourself a little bit?
I think I was pretty keeping it kind of on the download. Like my core people, my best mates, like my friend Dee, who had the idea, and a couple of people knew, but I was keeping it pretty quiet. I don't honestly think, because I had a Facebook at the time, but I don't think I posted about it on Facebook. I think because I thought, well, clearly nothing's going to happen from this. This is just me, amusing myself basically, and like perhaps making people laugh. And so that's where it started. Yeah, I stuck a few more up.
And so you've put a few up. Are you like checking the inbox religiously, or do you forget about it for a little while?
I had it diverting. I'm so clever. I actually went, looking back in, because I've still got it. I still have the email address and I have all the emails. And I went back and I saw the test one that I sent to myself to make sure that the diversion, the redirect thing like came to my regular inbox, because it was an anonymous email, that wasn't identifying me. So yeah, it just diverted. So when I got something, it came straight to my regular inbox, and then I actually got an email and I was like, oh my God, someone's actually emailed me. That was really amazing.
I was going to say, like, do you remember the content
do.
of the first email that came through?
Yeah, I do. And it was just him saying, yeah, I saw this poster somewhere. I thought it was this is basically what I was saying. It was like, it was funny. It made me laugh. Like, is this legit? Something like that. And I'm like, yeah, it's legit. Hi, my name's Marnie. It's nice to meet you.
Wow.
And then we ended up, when we went and had a drink like a few days later.
So good. That's so good.
It's great that it worked once and you had one like nice drink. It was a nice safe time.
It was nice.
Great,
yes,
you got
it was
that
all
once
fine. Yes,
off this idea. It's
and
great.
I was and then I started getting more, and then some other things happened. So yeah, I don't know. Should I like?
You tell us.
Well,
I want to know the types of people that emailed you. I want to know some dates that you went on. I want to know some other shit that went on. What changed anything?
I want to know
Facts, figures.
Yes,
Tell me.
100 people. Did you get 100 people email you? Did you get 10? Was it 1,000? Was it
I didn't count them. I think I roughly got about 200 emails, but I will say that the media helped me out. So
of course,
the nice thing about social media is that it did my work for me, because there's only so much sticky taping one girl can do in a day. And I'm like pathologically lazy. So it was great. I used to love that, like, people, and I used to get sent them, like, because I would get emails from people who actually saw the poster themselves, but then I would get emails from people who saw someone who'd taken a picture of the poster and posted it on Facebook.
Yes.
That happened a few times. Like, and so they'd get in touch. They're like, is this legit? Is this real? And I'm like, yeah, man, doesn't get any realer than this, and some people were, a bit suspicious at first. And I'm like, I'm just a person,
I'm just a girl.
Just a
standing in front of a
girl.
telephone pole, sticking up a poster,
Exactly.
asking you to love me.
Wasting some sticky tape, exactly. Asking you to potentially love me, yeah.
Yeah.
So it took a few weeks, and I was getting emails from people, and they were generally really positive, really nice, from like nice creative people. And obviously everyone that you talk to, you're not going to spark with them because it's just not how it works.
Yeah.
But I'm a writer. I like writing to people. It was nice to have pen pals, and it was exciting to see who emailed me. I really liked that. That was cool. But then, God love our national broadcaster, I got an email from a radio producer a few weeks after I'd been doing it, and she was like, I've seen your poster and this is really interesting. Would you like to talk to us about it? And I'm like, sure, that sounds great. So I started doing radio, and I ended up speaking to 4 different radio stations, one of which was Perth. It was so weird, but and then after I did the radio, that's when Sunrise found out. And so
they need other media to cover
Of course
you
they-
before
well,
they'll
they-
knock on your door.
to do the work for them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I shouldn't. I literally said yes to the interview, and here I am having a bitch. But no, it was fun. It was fun. It was always fun because it was very entertaining. I was like, okay, sure. This it's so interesting that my life has taken this turn. But yes, I will talk to you about my love life, Koshi, on National Breakfast Radio. I'll do that. Let's do that. So there were some people who saw the posters, and then obviously from the media, people would get in touch with me that way. And the response that I got from the people who heard about it through the media was usually a bit different to the response to the people who walked past it, in Auchenflower or Milton on a telephone pole. So
I understand
that
and
was
believe
interesting.
that.
That
Yep.
was interesting.
So run me through some of the more memorable responses that you got.
Oh, okay. I actually picked out a couple of them. For the most part, they were really positive. A lot of them were just so nice, from people saying, good on you. I thought this was really funny. I walked past, did a double take. I'm like, that's amazing. You go. I was like, oh, thank you so much. That's so kind. Most of them were really nice. But then I had, one of a picture of a girl, because obviously the headline of the poster was lost, and the subject line of her email was found, and it was her having ripped the poster down, holding it. And I'm like, okay, cool, good for you, great.
Well done.
A+ on being a dick.
Exactly.
very
and
droll.
then some guy emailed me, and he's like, yeah, I live in Paddington, and someone threw a bunch of these over my back fence. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's sorry, for that. But he's like, I think it's a cool idea, and good on you. But most of the people were really, really nice. And
great.
there were a lot of legitimate, actual people going, this was interesting. My name is, Bob, and I'm late 20s. I live here. This is what I like. I thought this was cool, and so I was actually talking to people, and I ended up going on about roughly 15 dates with some really cool, nice, creative guys. And that was, really fun. And obviously, again, you're not going to spark with everyone that you meet, because this is just a different way of meeting people. It doesn't actually change the fact that
That's right. It's swiping
Yeah,
on Tinder.
exactly,
It's
exactly.
filling your inbox with letters, with emails of gentlemen who saw your
Totally.
your lost poster.
And I'm just going to say something. It was an interesting year for me. So I was 27, and I'd sort of worked out a few months before. I was like, oh, I have a crush on my tap dancing teacher, and she's a woman. That's interesting. I've identified as a straight woman for my entire life because I thought I was straight, but I actually might not be straight anymore. And so it was a few months after that I did this whole scheme thing, and I was like, I'm ready to, I suppose, start thinking about accepting or just coming to know this part of myself, that I'm actually a bisexual woman. I am not ready to advertise to date, for women to date me on a poster on a telephone pole.
Yes.
So I was like, I was conscious of it, but that wasn't something that, so when I do the poster next time, it's definitely going to be, all comers, man.
Yeah.
Next year when I bring it back from the dead for the 10th anniversary. So no, it was really quite fun, and I went on a lot of fun dates. I went on a date with a guy. It actually happened to be Valentine's Day. Our first date was the week before, and then he's like, come see a movie with me. And so we went to the Moonlight Cinemas at New Farm Park, and it was raining, so it was quite funny, and they had to stop the movie. And then he had a cast on his arm. He'd broken his arm, and there were ants biting him inside the cast.
No.
It was just like a comedy of errors.
Yep,
This
yep.
poor guy who was such a sweetheart ended up not being a thing. But I dated one guy for 6 weeks, and
From the poster.
yeah,
That's
dated
nice.
and I actually made two very good guy friends out of it. One of whom connected to, I met another person who became a good guy friend, and we used to perform together because he's a pianist and I'm a singer. And so it expanded my life in really exciting, like cool ways that, I suppose I didn't expect. You know, I didn't have any expectations. So, yeah.
When you meet people in person after they've met you via this poster, like how does that, like, does it unfold like a normal online date would have, or do you chat a bit about the poster first? Like,
casting my mind back, I think it would have always started with, what an interesting thing to do, and I'm like, thanks, you know, it's been fun. Like we talk about it, but then it just becomes a date, you know. So
I love it. I love the
Thank
idea.
you.
This sort
Thank
of
you so much.
guerrilla marketing of your own dating profile,
Thank
your
you.
own resume of love. I want to explore this option because obviously it worked for you in the terms of positive feedback and the amount of feedback you got.
It's
like you would say it was a success rather than a failure. It was a success.
It was really fun. Thank you. It was super fun. I'm really glad I did it. It was just really exciting. Genuinely, I was genuinely like, ooh, I wonder what's going to happen next. Because for a while there, I was getting a lot of emails and just it was genuinely exciting. But I also copped a lot of flack from, you know, your average Joe in the comments online going, she just wants to get famous, or, you know, someone actually said, she's too cute for this to be legit, which was simultaneously
that's
flattering
like
and insulting.
lovely and a backhand.
Yeah. I was like, well, thanks. Thanks for saying I'm cute, but I am legit. I'm an honest person. It's important, like authenticity is important to me. And I really bristled at people questioning my motives, and it became increasingly like, it just, looking back through the emails just yesterday, I was like, I can see where I was getting tired of it, just having commenters go, oh, this is crap, you know, she's just doing this to get her name out there, like, and someone, because I used to work,
you didn't even put your name on the poster.
No, exactly,
like...
I didn't, and like things about me that weren't true, and because I used to work in newspapers, and I was interviewed by a newspaper, and some, you know, Twitter detective was like, oh, I've just seen that she works for this mob, you know, it's the same newspaper that interviewed her. Oh, it's all just crap. And I'm like, that's not true, mate. Like, it is. She did not know I existed. I did not know she existed.
Not only
she
the fact
found
that
out about it.
the job that we had was less working on a newspaper and
Exactly,
working for an agency that had a client who was newspapers.
Exactly,
like that one
right.
step of it. That's how I didn't get on The Bachelor. You know, when I applied to be on The Bachelor, and the reason that they didn't let me on, I got all the way through to the final like 30 people, and
I
they're
didn't
like,
know that.
you work in the media, and I'm like, no, but I
that
don't. I work for
sucks.
someone who has a client who's the media.
I never knew that, but yeah.
First season, I
Yeah.
got that far.
Oh no, I would have loved that.
Forgive me, Marnie. I
at all.
forgot that what we can agree is a good idea. Got national attention, got media attention.
did,
so
yeah.
that
That's when it
opens you up
shoots
to
it down.
Thank
that's
you. Yeah,
where
and like everyone, because I was on, you know, AM radio, and then I was on commercial radio, and when a commercial radio station, I was like on a few breakfast shows, and when they say, you know, because they want to promote conversation, they're like, so and so did this, what do you think of that? And then everyone weighs in and says their mean things, and it was just the most bizarre feeling. I remember saying to my mum, I'm like, Mum, they're saying mean things about me on the internet, but I was like genuinely quite upset, because I'm someone who likes, I mean, everyone likes people to like them, but I'm like, no, but they're saying things that are hurtful, that aren't true. And she's like,
15
Marnie,
minutes of fame is hard.
yeah, totally. And she's like, Marnie, they don't know you.
No.
They don't. And I'm like, okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
It was, and like for the most part, super positive. I think I could say a lot about what happened. It was fun. It was exciting. But yeah, it was just really interesting. But I've actually lost my train of thought.
No, that's okay. I'll pick up. My take seems to be this is a great idea.
Thank you.
in a keep it, but it has to stay, in the
cute
societal,
and
in the little society where
Exactly.
it's,
Yeah,
where
people
it's
were
built.
so much nicer when.
Yeah, all
when
your
they-
positive
when
ones
it
was Joe standing on the street where
Yeah.
you stood putting
Yeah.
up that poster, seeing.
Although that's sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
That's true, but I did also get some really lovely emails from people who weren't anywhere near me.
Oh, good. Good.
My favorite one, I'm going to read it for you if that's okay.
Yes.
Please.
It's just so adorable. So this was sent on January 23, 2013. The subject line is so fun. It says, sorry, I'm far away to Brisbane for to try to find your romance, but a friend sent me a pic of the reward notice and I only want to wish you good luck with your search. Big smiley face. Funny people makes the funniest world. Take care. Eve from Spain. And I'm like, you're adorable, Eve from Spain. Thank you.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. I got some really...
See, that's adorable. It's great.
Thank you.
What are some of the other responses that I can see that you've screenshotted there?
I did. I screenshotted some of the interesting ones. Here was one. Oh, it was in New Farm. I think because I got, it was mostly to entertain myself. I was like, where can I put a poster up? I put one outside like Hungry Jack's in the city. Put one in like the train station walking down from Central. High traffic. I'm like, I want bang
that
for my
Hungry
buck.
Jack's one would have been like
It was probably ripped down in 2 seconds, but it was the point that I put it there, you know. And so I put one up on like just a public notice board next to, you know, your ad for Jim's mowing and that sort of thing. I was like, I'll throw my hat in the ring. Hi, got your message from notice board. I may be a little bit old for you as I'm 47, but would pay anything for your company if you're interested. Ciao for now. And I'm like, thanks, mate. I do have a job. I'll keep you in mind. I've still got his mobile.
Made bank from this shit.
Look, I've still got his mobile number, Liz, so it's not too late.
No.
He might be like me. He might still have the same mobile number. So, you know, I could always drop him a message when if I fancy it.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Where, Elizabeth, if you did this
I'm kicking
this
myself.
idea,
I didn't think of it first.
I'm wondering if you still can. I mean, has enough could we talk it out? Anyway, if you were to do this, and provided you didn't get the sort of unpleasant national media attention on top of it, Liz, you would love that, but the idea doesn't demand it. Where would you hang these posters? Where do you hang them? Do you go for foot traffic, high foot volume?
I'd go for high foot traffic.
Do you
but
put
also
them,
low rate of teenagers.
do you
Because the teenagers would either draw penises on your face or rip it down and think they're smartasses about it.
I'm also considering, do you hang them in places you go to a lot? So
Yes.
or do you hang them with
I'd hang them in cinemas, couple of cinemas.
the kind of place you want a person from? Like, I want someone
I'm going
who,
to Ascot, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go stick it in one of the richest suburbs
That's
in
right.
Brisbane.
Yeah.
I want someone who
There you
shops
go.
here. I want someone who shops here, who likes these. I don't know. Yeah, it's very interesting. But you went for a broader scattergun.
Well,
kind of
I
approach.
basically I didn't travel too far out of my way to put them up. I was like, I'm going to go op shopping in Paddington today. I will put some posters up in Paddington, and just like places that I would hang out to meet people who I would get on with, basically.
So what made you stop going on dates from the people that, because obviously you got over 200 messages, but we went on 15-ish kind of dates.
Yeah.
What was the thing that made you go, I'm not accepting these anymore?
It naturally petered out when I stopped putting the posters up, you know, because things died down. And that was okay with me because it had been quite a roller coaster that had gone on for a few months, probably not quite 6 months all up. Well, but actually I got some emails that were later because it was still going around the internet, I guess. And then there were people who were like, I saw this and I wanted to find out, did you ever find what you were looking for? You know, people, so I still got emails about it. But when I stopped putting them up, then it sort of naturally petered out. And I think by then I was sort of like, I just need to withdraw. I don't feel the need to be dissected by the public anymore for a little while.
Yeah,
So
totally fair enough.
So out of those 200 messages though, how did you choose the 15 that you went on dates with?
well,
Were they the only genuine ones, or were there some genuine ones that you decided not to go out?
Yeah,
the
do you-
latter, definitely the latter. It's just like talking online. If you click with someone like that you meet on an online dating site, then you'll perhaps spend time with them. But if you don't, then that's
fair.
Yeah.
And did you respond to everyone who
Yes.
sent everyone full stop?
Mm.
There was more to that question there. But everyone?
Actually, no, that's not true. There was one message that I did not like, and I did not respond to that.
Fair enough.
But almost everyone, yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Now the reason why this came back into my mind, because obviously it's been a little while, is we had a friend of the show, Steve. posted a throwback. He had a memory pop up and it was like from 7 years ago or 8 years ago, and he posted it and he's like, I think about this girl all the time and I always wonder about whether she found love. And I was like, Steve, my friend, this is a friend of mine and I am getting her on the show so that we can figure all this out. He did ask to be here today and I said no because I am the fun police. But like, it's important, and anybody who wants to come on the show should know this, that it's important that we create a safe space for guests to come on and talk without, you know, anything like that. But I do believe that Steve did message you before he talked to me about it, just to check whether or not you found love, which
sure
I thought
did.
that was very nice.
He
Not
did.
in a sleazy way, just in a I think about it a lot and I wanted to know,
He
you know.
did. Yep.
And so I guess one thing that our listeners would probably like to know is, have you found love, and are you still looking if not?
Thank you for asking. I have found a lot more self-love.
Good.
Just
Yes.
on like,
Good
not
for
that I
you.
ever,
Beautiful.
not that I ever did this because I was like, oh, I don't love myself. I feel the need to put my face on a telephone pole so maybe someone will love me. It was never like that. It really was just to amuse myself, just to see what would happen. But it was also part of my journey back to myself, and I'm so much happier in myself now than I was, you know, even a few years ago, which is so good. And no, I didn't fall in love through it, but that's okay because I didn't have expectations. I had hopes.
Yeah.
I thought, I was like, I mean, that'd be amazing. I'd love to meet someone. I'd love to really.
What a story.
I'd love to meet
Absolutely.
someone. And like, you know, it got me laid.
Yeah, beautiful.
But,
That's all we need. Self-love and getting
right.
laid.
I
They're the two
am-
best things in life.
I will say that I am still looking. I do still have the email address.
Ladies and gents, we will be putting up a copy of this poster
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
episode.
Absolutely.
I'm
Try
going
and
to
stop
post it on our Facebook, so please sign up to our Facebook if you would like to see this poster once this episode comes out.
I'm also just going to say this is a little plug. So I'm a singer-songwriter. I was going to do a one-woman show about this, like a cabaret. I decided not to, decided that I didn't need to, but I wrote some songs that I really like for it, and I'm going to record one of them this year.
Amazing.
Thank you. And I really like it. So
Well, we'll promote
Thank
it on
you.
our channels.
Thank you so much.
Whenever it comes out.
cool.
And also, like, we can put an update to the poster now that you're out and by. That it's not just
well,
men.
Thank you. That's so true.
That you're
Yes.
looking for
all
anymore.
comers, absolutely.
So yeah, we will pimp both your work
Aw,
and your
thank
dating
you.
life.
Normally on a Ghosts of Boyfriends Past episode, we have a lessons learned, but this
Yeah.
isn't a lessons learned
I feel
sort
like
kind of
I've
story.
learned a good little
But
lesson.
I'm wondering, can we push it further? If someone could get their dating info into like fortune cookies or something, like you're
We
sitting
got
at
to
a
be creative. I was like billboard, but then I'm like, no, you're just opening yourself up to being graffiti.
so it is tricky. These
This
little
is why I really like the poster, because it's cute, it's quaint, it's small, it's got a community feel to it. It's
Aw,
not.
thank you.
It's not. And this is the thing: the media turned it into something showy. I liked that it was humble and
Yeah,
not
thank
showy.
you.
But I also do like that you got the attention for it, because it is such a creative idea, and as something on your creative person resume,
Yeah.
like
Thank
it's a tick
you.
of good work.
Thank you very much. It was super fun, and even the media, even though it was crazy, and I was literally doing a breakfast interview driving to work in like peak hour traffic. I had to pull over and like be on the radio in Perth, but it was super fun, and what I learned from it, and you know, as you sort of like, it's a process. As a creator, and for all of us, we all need to believe in ourselves. But it taught me to have more creative faith in myself, like to
Yes.
actually believe in my ideas, even though it was technically my friend's idea. But I took that baton and I ran with
a
it.
poster is very different. Saying put posters up is quite different
Yeah,
from
and-
the funny way that you
Well, thank you.
subverted
Thank
the
you. It
genre
was
of
like-
lost posters.
It really did make me go, oh yeah, so you know, I got a nice response from this thing that I created, and that was good for me. That was big for me as a creator.
Yeah. I learned, like, I hate dating apps. I think they're the most boring way to meet somebody, and I would not ever go back on them. I just can't deal. But that there are fun other ways that you could meet people
Yeah.
if you've got ideas and if you're daring. And I reckon, like, even if you think an idea is really stupid, just go with it. Like, and then just block everybody who you hate if you meet people that are terrible after it. Like, you can just make stuff happen. If you have a dumb idea, just do it.
It's
like,
fun to make life into a romantic comedy sometimes.
yes, exactly.
It
exactly.
is. It kind of is. My lesson learned is a small one to wrap up with, and it goes to the person in the suburb where I live, which I'm not going to name on air, and it regards lost posters. All right, so you hang a poster for a lost dog or a lost cat. I might see that lost dog or that lost cat and give your phone number a bell. It starts to get a bit trickier when that animal becomes a bird. Have you seen my lost bird?
Yeah.
It's flying over. But then I saw one the other day that said lost pigeon. Now, I don't know about you and your pigeon detecting skills and whether you can tell one pigeon apart from another one, but I'm going to need more info on the friggin' pigeon. And giving me its name isn't going to help out.
No.
Willis, it's not going to help. So I'm sorry, bird owners and lovers. I love them as well. I love all animals equally. They're great. It's sad when you lose a pet bird, but there's only so much I can do when I'm walking around.
Yeah.
I don't have a cage. I don't have anything for it.
Never stop looking for Willis.
Keep hunting. But it might be...
Hashtag save Willis. Oh, well, that is it. Thank you for a delightful episode,
thank you. Thank
Marnie.
you. That was
Superb
I can't
idea.
believe that it took somebody else posting about your poster for me to go, I've got a friend with a really great dating story. But it did take somebody else prompting me and reminding me because it was so long ago and I can barely remember what I ate for breakfast
It's a
this
great
morning.
idea.
Thank
Great
you.
story.
Thank you so much.
Top marks to you, Marnie.
Anyone at home, if you've come up with a creative way of trying to find a date, please write in and let us know. I would love to know any kind of outside of the box way that you've tried to find or scored a date.
How have you got your dating resume, either written or not, into the world outside of the normal brackets, the social media,
Please let
or
us
the
know.
dating app?
Anything to do with weird ways that you got dates, I want to know about it. If you would like to be a guest on our podcast, you can go to that'snotcanon.com/ghosts of boyfriends past and fill in our form. It's literally dot points. You're just like, name, where you live, give us like 3 sentences about the story, signed you being on our show.
We don't need your shoe size, your blood type, none of that.
We don't need you
stuff.
to be a good writer to be able to compose a narrative that's compelling. Literally dot point that shit out and we will read it and go, that has potential, and contact you.
But as ever, we thank you so much for your time and attention. If you feel the same way about us, a rate or review the other way would be lovely.
That'd be so good. And we've started reading out some of our reviews from our lovely readers on our mini-sodes. So if you'd like to be featured on one of our mini-sodes, write us a fun review. We enjoy that. You can go to our Ghosts of Boyfriends Past group therapy group on Facebook. Join our Facebook page for all the latest episode updates. But other than that, put yourself out there, guys. Do crazy things for love.
Are you sick of humans? Do you want to learn cocktail facts to horrify your coworkers at your next fancy Christmas party? Or do you simply want to horrify the next person that rants about what lifestyle is or is not quote-unquote natural? Then you should listen to Faunication, one of the most ethically questionable podcasts out there, dedicated to unnecessary education and airing out Mother Nature's dirty laundry. Tune in for exciting phrases such as love darts, elastic navel cavities, echolocation jamming reproductive organs, and inconveniently located teeth. If any of those phrases horrified you, that's okay. You're completely normal, and I welcome you in your affliction anyways. So stop by and learn about all the Google searches I did so you don't have to. Faunication is available on all platforms and for as long as I fly under the FBI's radar. New episodes every other hump day, because of course I chose Wednesday.
A That's Not Canon Productions podcast.